Hey guys, Karen here. I am in the book of Joshua, and I am wanting to record about the two memorials. This chapter fascinated me. I mean, it really fascinated me. I'm just going to do a little background, and by no means I am no experienced on the Bible. I am learning, and I'm learning as I go. So, but the Bible, the stories that are in it, they absolutely fascinated me, and I wanted to do a diary on what I found and stuff. So that's what I'm going to do, because that's where it's leading me to do it. So, the background on Joshua, Joshua, it says here, after Moses came Joshua, and Joshua was the son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened unto him, and did as the Lord commanded Moses. Now this was, he stepped in after Moses died. The Lord passed on leading the people to Joshua, is how I take it. It says, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Okay, so Joshua has picked up where Moses left off, leading the people, and they're going towards the land that God had promised them, to Arab and stuff. And over in chapter 4, I know it's chapter 4, there is, in my Bible, now guys, I have I study King James Version, and mine is a study Bible, okay? So it has the passages in here, but down below here it explains it, which is very helpful to someone like me. So if you see that and wonder what's going on, and then I do write things that stand out to me, I write in my Bible. That's the only way I can say it. And here it says, and it came to pass, when all the people were cleaned, passed over Jordan, that the Lord spake unto Joshua, saying, take you 12 men out of the people, out of every tribe of man, and command ye them, saying, that you hence out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and you shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place where you shall lodge this night. I'm taking that these were boulders, because it says that they carried them on their shoulder. Then Joshua called the 12 men who he had prepared of the children of Israel out of every tribe of man. And Joshua said unto them, pass over before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of Jordan, which is the river. Take you up every man of you a stone upon his shoulder, according unto the number of the tribes of the children of Israel. So, there are 12 tribes. But if the stones had to be carried on their shoulders, those were huge. I mean, they were big rocks. Then it says, this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, what mean ye by these stones? Then you shall answer them, that the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, when it passed over the Jordan. the waters of Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so as Joshua commanded, and took up 12 stones out of the midst of Jordan, as the Lord spake unto Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and carried them over with them unto the place where they lodged, and then laid them down there. And Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests, which bear the ark of the covenant, stood, and they are there unto this day. For the priests which bear the ark stood in the midst of Jordan, until everything was finished, that the Lord commanded Joshua to speak unto the people according to all that Moses commanded Joshua, and the people hasted and passed over. So, this to me tells me that Joshua placed 12 of those huge stones in the middle of the river. Okay? I'm a history buff. I love history. I want to know, are these 12 stones still in the middle of Jordan? I did some research. I couldn't find where anybody has found the stones yet, but I also couldn't find where anybody has been looking for them. And then you think, they're in the middle of the river. They're in the middle of Jordan. It was a deep river from the way that I took it, that God had to stop the flowing of water for the people to pass through. And when that water comes over, because I've read somewhere, it's somewhere in here, but I don't know exactly where, during the summer, the banks overflow on the Jordan. Okay? And so when he released the water back, these stones were covered back up. But these stones, there's two memorials now. There's two of them. There's another 12. But these first 12, they're underwater. So there's a reason for this. I'm not really sure what it is, but there is a reason, and this excites me because I wonder. Now it says right, let's go back up here to 6, that this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their father in time to come, saying, what mean ye by these stones? I don't think these stones have come into play yet for God's plans. I do not. I think in the coming of time, where God is fixing to come back, something's going to happen. And because remember, the Jewish people don't believe that Jesus rose. They don't think that Jesus has come back yet. So I'm wondering if and this is just me thinking, but I'm wondering if someday something's going to happen and God will dry up the Jordan, and here will stand these rocks, and here will be the Jewish people realizing that God's coming. God's here. God's been here, and Jesus is coming with them. I'm not sure. I just happen to think, I think there is a purpose that they were put in the river and hidden by the water. That is just my thought. And it's just things like that that make me so curious. So then, for the second one, let's see. And came to pass when the people... Okay. Lord commanded Joshua to speak unto the people according to all that Moses commanded Joshua, and the people hasted and passed over. And it came to pass, when all the people were clean passed over, that the ark of the covenant, that the ark of the Lord passed over, and the priest in the presence of the people. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and half the tribe of Messiah passed over, armed before the children of Israel, as Moses spoke unto them. It says about 40,000 prepared for war passed over before the Lord unto battle to the plains of Jericho. On that day the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they feared him as they feared Moses all the days of his life. And the Lord spake unto Joshua, saying, Command the priests that bear the ark of the testimony, that they come up out of the Jordan. Joshua therefore commanded the priests, saying, Come ye up out of Jordan. And it came to pass, when the priests that bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord were come up out of the midst of Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet were lifted up into dry land, that the waters of Jordan returned unto their place, flowed over all his banks as they did before. Wow. So I'm not exactly sure how long they were in the Jordan. That's something I'll have to ask my pastor about, because I'm curious about that now too. I didn't catch my attention the first time I read it. I guess I was too fascinated with the stones. But I wonder how long, and if anybody even knows, they were actually in the Jordan. So, where'd I leave off at? Jordan returned, flowed over his banks as they did before. And the people came up out of Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and encamped in Gilgal, in the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan did Joshua pitch in Gilgal. And he spoke unto the children of Israel, saying, When your children should ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean these stones? Then you shall let your children know, saying, Israel came over this Jordan on dry land. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of Jordan from before you, until you were passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us until we were gone over, that all the people of earth might know the hand of the Lord, that it is mighty, that you might fear the Lord your God forever. He dried it up. He just didn't part it. He dried it up. And he made sure that all his people had passed over. And he's left these. I've researched this some too. The stones of Gilgal. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not real good with the names yet. I couldn't find anywhere where it said that these stones, if they were somewhere and people went and visit them, like, how they do some religious things. I couldn't find anything on the stones of Gilgal. So I actually do not know if the stones are still there, if they've been moved, if people have used them through time, if God might have made them invisible so they would not be disturbed, because I don't have a doubt at all that he could do that. I mean, if he can dry up water and part the sea, he can make things invisible so nobody disturbs anything that he wants left there, so I'm not sure. I've done the research and I can't find anything on the stones from Gilgal. And they could still be there, or through the ages of time, because we're talking thousands of years here. Each stone could be part of some foundation somewhere over there, who knows? And I was talking to my pastor and one of the deacons of my church about this, and my pastor said that when the Bible says, and they are still there, he said that doesn't necessarily mean that the stuff is still there in our time, but it definitely was still there during the writing of this book. And by book, I don't mean the whole Bible. I mean the book of Joshua. When the book of Joshua was written, or when, is it in Acts or John's? I can't remember exactly what it is. But through the Bible, you would say, you'll see it'll say, until this day. Well, it means whenever the person that wrote the book, it was still there in their time. It doesn't necessarily mean it's in our time. So, I just wanted to share and record about the stones of Gilgal. I will still do research on it, and if something ever comes up, I will update. I'll do a part 2 specifically to this video. About the stones. I don't know if they'll ever be found until God's ready for them to be found, So, yeah, I just found it's just very fascinating. It's very fascinating to me, and anything to do with history is very fascinating. So, I'm going to keep going. In my studies, it's hard for me to just read on. I did get through Genesis. And I think I started in is this Zodius? I'm not sure. And my church, they said, Karen, start in John. It'll be easier if you start in John and read on and then follow up through. So I started in John, but the thing with that is, and I've gotten into Acts, we have two Sunday school Bible books, Sunday school books, I'm not sure what you call them, one in the morning and one in the evening, and then we even have a daily devotion. Hold on, guys. We even have a daily devotion. And then on top of that, what our pastor talks about. And it doesn't always coincide. A lot, it doesn't coincide with what we're studying. These are next month's. So I'm all over the place in the Bible. And I'm in charge of our Facebook church group. And so I type these things up and I post daily stuff out of them every day. So this one doesn't have it. That's our night one. Like, see, we have the daily. Can you see that? We have daily devotions and stuff in ours. And I type these up and I post them on our church thing. So I'm constantly reading different things from the Bible every day. So it's hard for me to stay on track on something because something may catch my eye. Well, then I've got to follow it through. I have to read it and I have to follow it through. Something that I was researching is how I actually found Joshua and the stones. And I'm enjoying Joshua, so I'm staying in Joshua, and I'm gonna read forward onto Joshua, or through Joshua and stuff, and just keep going that way. And I don't know, when something excites me, I'm gonna record it. I know I read in here about an angel that floored me, and I'm just gonna share it because that's what I want to do. I mean, that's just all there's to it. That's what I want to do. So, and I don't want to lock it down in with my crafting, because I realize, not everybody's into studying and reading the Bible and hearing about it all the time. When I feel like talking, I will, whether it's in my crafting or not. But I do not want my craft videos to be totally about the Bible and stuff that I'm learning, because, I like to craft too. So, and I would like to, just keep them a little bit separate. This way, when I'm doing stuff like this, I am totally just into this, and I can concentrate on the Bible, because that's what I think it needs to be. I think you need to have total concentration when you're in the Bible, and not letting anything disturb you the way you're thinking and stuff. So for me, that's what's easier. If I block out everything, and it helps me to understand what I'm reading and stuff. So anyway, that's why I'm doing this. And I want to read this one passage because I love it. And I want to end the video with this. And this is Joshua 1, verse 9. Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whichsoever thou goest. It's nice to know that you are never alone. Especially for me now, it is just really nice to know that no matter what. And my mom taught me years ago when I was a child, and let me tell you, it has got me through a lot of things in my life, and I don't know if it's in the Bible or not, but God will never give you more than you can handle, that you can take on and do. So I know there's been times in my life where I've actually thought, okay, God, you gave this to me. It's not going the way that I thought it would, so what do I have to do now? It's really helped me in some bad situations. It's helped me in some good situations. And just reading this, for the Lord thy God is with thee, it's just an encouragement to me. It helps me stay strong. It helps me stay strong a lot. So, anyway, love all you guys, and feel free to leave messages. The only thing I'll say is that my faith is not up for debate. I'm not into arguing with anybody if God is real or not. God is very real to me. He's a living God. I believe in Him. I believe in Jesus. I believe that Jesus came to save us. So that will, if you leave anything that says otherwise in trying to start something, it will go unanswered. I won't pay attention to it. It's because that's how I feel. And you guys know this because I just said so. I'm not about, I know some people, they just want to rush in and, this and that. That's fine if that's how you think. But God is not up to debate for me. He's not. And He never ever will He be. He just is. He always will be. He always has been. And so if anybody wants to start anything in the comments about this, you're fighting a battle by yourself. That's all I got to say. Because it's my YouTube page, and I'll post what I want, and I won't argue it with anybody, and that's just how to be. So if this is something that turns you off of me, then unfollow now. There won't be no hurt feelings, because I really won't care. And I'll pray for you. That I will do. No problem there. I wouldn't have a problem at all there. But I'm not going to worry about any negative and stuff about this. Matter of fact, I actually expect it. So, and that's okay, because that's just how the world works. But I'm not too worried about it because I've got God on my side. So, Love you all, and until the next time, I'll see you later. Okay? Bye.